नमस्ते। आप सभी का इस फेसबुक लाइव और इंटरेक्टिव सेशन में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। A very good morning to our viewers joining us from North America. Good afternoon to our viewers from Europe, and a very good evening to the friends joining us live from India. My name is Tushar, and I'm currently working as a 5G research and development engineer in one of the leading semiconductor companies in the United States. It's a matter of delight, honor, and a great privilege to host this live session with one of the most creative, innovative, and ingenious mind of the current Indian cabinet, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji. Nitin Gadkari ji is currently handling the portfolio of Ministry for Road, Transport and Highways of India and the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. This online interaction session is co-hosted by Lead India Group at Princeton University, Think India Purdue University, and Bharatiyam. To have maximum reach among students, this event is supported by Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, ABVP in India. Today, we are joined by students and scholars from more than 50 universities worldwide, including Princeton, Purdue, Columbia, Harvard, University of California, Berkeley, University of Cambridge, National University Singapore, London School of Economics, to name a few. So the format of the session will be that Honorable Minister will be addressing us for first 15 to 20 minutes, and thereafter we will be taking questions from the students worldwide. So I would like to take this opportunity to give a brief introduction to the speaker. Our guest of today, Nitin Gadkari ji's endearing feature of political life has been to improve the life of underprivileged through Antyodaya, which means the uplifting the weakest section of society through various social engineering programs, including openings of Ekal Vidyalayas, school in tribal areas, encouraging tribal and rural handicrafts, organic farming, and biofuels. During this mission, Nitinji realized the dream of Antyodaya is only possible through connectivity to the backward parts of the country. Gadkari ji's quest for solution led him adopt the public-private partnership model for executing various development and infrastructural projects. With his impeccable credentials as a doer and go-getter, he got a nickname of Flyover Man. Nitinji is a man on the move and has been consistently engaged in accomplishing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream of building New India. Nitinji, we are fortunate to have you today. On behalf of Indian students and scholars overseas and in India, I would like to invite you to deliver your message today on the topic, India's response to global pandemic, roadmap for New India. Nitinji, over to you.
All my dear friends, it's a great pleasure and pride for me to interact all of you. It is really a great thing for me. You are the future of India. Why I am calling you as the future of India? Because your innovation, your intelligence, your knowledge is giving strength to Indian, and it is really a great pride for all Indians. The way in which you are contributing in your sectors, it is remarkable. I am really proud of all of you. And I personally feel that the innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, and experiences, we name it as a knowledge. And conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future. And what I feel all of you, particularly about you, that my feeling is, your research, your innovation, your new vision for making new India is very important. Now, first of all, we are all facing the crisis of Corona. It is very unfortunate. The whole world is facing this crisis. And as far as the Indian situation is concerned, as comparison between the UK, USA, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, even India is in a better position. It is only because of the decision taken by Honorable Prime Minister at appropriate time. And that is why the reason is we are now at least save the life of the lakhs of people. I feel that it is a very important event, a very sensitive situation, a challenging situation, and it is really a fight. We are fighting against the war. of Corona. It is really an important war for all the world. As far as the Indian situation is concerned, that the first thing that we need to win the war on Corona. And we are trying our level best. We are taking preventive measures. We have a huge population, big population, and a lot of problem, constraints, limitations on the big cities. But I am confident that there are at least 5 things which we are taking as the preventive measures. One is making of mask mandatory. Second thing, you don't need to come from your house anywhere, because that is not the good thing, because better way is to sit in the house. That is to be a correct solution. But if suppose in a condition if you need to go from out of your house, you should use mask mandatory. That is the first reason. The second thing is, at any time in your house when you are coming or going, then you need to take hand wash by sanitizer. That is very important. And the third thing is, distance between the two persons should be maintained by more than 1 meter. So 3 important things which are very mandatory to all Indians in the country. And the 2 things which are related with the industry. That is, the industry actually we want to start because we are facing economic war. And that is the reason that we need to start our trade, business and industry. The industry, we have got a lot of labors. Now, by adopting these 3 guiding principles for preventing Corona, at the same time, we need to take the responsibility of food and shelter of our laborers, officers, and to maintain it that it should not spread coronavirus. At the same time, we need to have a transport arrangement where one bus can take only 25 people, maintaining the distance and taking it from the city area to industrial area. So these are the things which are very important, and I am confident we are creating our hospitals, our security men, our nurses, doctors, all type of people, even from that Safai Kamgar. Everyone is working very hard. I am really giving my thanks to all of these people, policemen particularly, in a crisis, those who are working day and night. And really, their sacrifice is very important. We Indian people, we will definitely remember it for years to years. Now, after winning the Corona war, we have to fight the war against economic war. Now, the whole world is facing this economic crisis, and it is really a challenge for the whole world. But what my feeling is, as far as Indian situation is concerned, it is blessing in disguise. ये आपत्ति नहीं है, इष्टापत्ति भी है. So I always say that there are some people who convert problems into opportunities, and there are some people who convert opportunities into the problems. My feeling is, now that China is in the process of making of a super economic power, but now the situation in the world is changed. In the whole world, now the people are criticizing, the world is criticizing China, and there is a hatred against China. Now you know that the Japanese Prime Minister declared a package where the Japanese investors and the industry, those who want to come out of China, the government is giving special package. At the same situation, this is also the situation in the whole world. USA, UK, Spain, France, Germany, everywhere. Now the world don't want to deal with China. So now this is the opportunity for India, that we should attract the foreign investment in India with new innovation, new research, with new technology. We can make joint ventures, and also we can very friendly for foreign investment. Or definitely we can make India a big manufacturing hub. Presently, in GDP, 29% of the contribution in GDP is from MSME. At the same time, 48% of the export is from MSME. And up till now, the MSME create 11 crore jobs. What my feeling is, it is really a great challenge for Indian economy and Indian industry. We can convert these problems into opportunities. Apatti ka ishtapatti mein rupantar karna. It's a challenge, or we should accept it. Or as far as the China situation is concerned, the way in which the world is now not interested in making any investment in China, either we deal with China, this is the golden opportunity for Indian industry. In my ministry, we have decided to open a special giving a responsibility Joint Secretary for Foreign Investment in Industry. The new technology, new innovation, new research, and new investment, foreign investment in India is exactly it's our challenge. And I am confident that my ministry, our government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, we are all trying our level best to how to capture this advantage, this opportunity. Now the problem is that India need to develop in the rural agriculture, in the rural agriculture and tribal. We have 115 tribal aspirant districts. So now we are planning that decentralization of industry, decentralization of wealth into socially, economically and educationally backward area. That can be possible. First of all, I am giving you an example of Mumbai-Delhi Express Highway. From NHI, we are making 22 green express highway, new alignment. This highway starts from Sona, near to Gurgaon, to Savai Madhopur, Alwar, going to Vadodara, Jhabua, Ratlam, and after going to Vadodara to Mumbai. This highway is going to reduce the distance between Delhi to Mumbai by at least 220 kilometers. And this highway is from backward and tribal area of Rajasthan, Haryana, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. The cost of this highway, the 12-lane concrete road, the cost of the highway is 1 lakh crore. And actually, we are already saved 16,000 crore on land acquisition. The land acquisition on this highway, the cost average which comes to 15 to 20 lakhs rupees per acre. In the tribal area in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra, even in Haryana, the land cost is very less. So our idea is we can make logistic parks. We can make industrial clusters, smart cities, and smart cities near to highway where we can make the clusters, industrial cluster, the leather cluster, chemical clusters, different plastic clusters, and where it can be connected to the ports, railway, and airports. That will be our response. The NHI is offering the investor that we will acquire the land, and with the help of you, we can make the smart city, smart village, and also creating a housing accommodation, and at the same time, green smart city and green smart village. Green smart village also we can make there. So on this line we are working. We are making 2,000 bus port like airport in India now, planning for. We are also making roads at amenities 2,000, and at the same time making smart city and smart villages near to road. I feel that this is going to helpful for NHI. Presently our total income is 40,000 crore per year. We now want to take it up to 1 lakh crore within 5 years. Now this year we have the target still in with the problem. As long as our target is completed 30 kilometers per day, and I am confident that in next 2 years we can increase it up to 2 times, 3 times more. That's the target. I am not sure whether we can complete it or not, but the target we have decided to make at least double it, and that is the reason that market need liquidity, and this is the time for the country that we have to invest in infrastructure, water, power, transport, and communication, railway, shipping, ports, then the bus port, airports, and at the railway stations, and different type of new technology, new innovations. One of my idea which I am already making the experiment in Nagpur, that is broad gauge metro. We need public transport on electricity. I am also concentrating on the field that import substitute, cost effective, and pollution free technology. We are working on biofuels, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, and electric as a fuel. India is progressing very fast toward this target. Now my feeling is, now increase the liquidity in the market by which we will create more employment potential. The investment, the foreign investment, the capital investment from the market is very important. And that is going to accelerate the Indian economy. So that is the reason that we need more investment in infrastructure. At the same time, we need to have support industry, support infrastructure from the government side. But one thing is correct, we are not like Japan or USA. When the industry is facing the problem, government is also facing the problem. So all stakeholders, it is the time for them to understand what are the limitations and problems and strength of state government and central government, Reserve Bank and banks. So Reserve Bank, banks, finance ministry, government, MSME, infrastructure ministries, we are all now in the fast move that how we can create more employment potential. And for that reason, we need more investment, more capital investment, more expenditure, more spending from the people. That is very important. Now the Reserve Bank is giving permission for 30 years for bank loan for infrastructure. For the road sector, I don't have any resources. I am confident that we can make the road of 15 lakh crores. Our Prime Minister's dream is to making India a 5 trillion economy. I am confident that we will achieve that goal. At the same time, Prime Minister is fixed the target of making Indian infrastructure of 100 lakh crores. And here I am confident that we can make the infrastructure of 20 to 25 lakh crore within 5 years. I am confident we are going to contribute for that. So this is the time that we need to have more liquidity into the market by which we will increase the employment potential and the growth. At the same time, the first time it is time for the country that we need to concentrate on rural, tribal and agriculture. Agro MSME is the new concept. That's where we need to have new technology, new innovations, where we need to develop villages. And we have to convert villages into smart villages with hospitals, schools and colleges. I have a dream that people from Bangalore, people from Mumbai, people from Chennai, Mumbai, Calcutta, Delhi, they will go back to their villages. There will be a sustainability, there will be a standard life, living life with all type of facilities, and the people will diversify their investment, their life from urban area to rural area. So this is very important for Indian scenario, and where we need to concentrate giving more priority to Khadi Gramadyog. Our village industry's turnover is last year was 75,000 crore. And for this year, we are expecting 1 lakh crore. But my target is from MSME that we need to make it the turnover of at least 5 lakh crore within 2 years. I have got this watch. This watch is actually from Titan. The belt is from Khadi. This is a very fine belt is from Khadi. The dial is also from Khadi. And Titan make this watch. Ladies and gents both are available. It is out of market. And the cost is 5,000 rupees. So my suggestion is that we can make anything. We can make sericulture, we can make biofuel for aviation in the tribal area, we can make paper. That is the idea is import substitute, cost effective and pollution free industry we need. So now we are planning for more concentration on rural agriculture and tribal, and by which we can make even biofuel or aviation as possible. From Jatropha oil, we have successfully run the fighter jet and helicopter with 100% bio-aviation fuel. We have already taken a spice jet flight from Dehradun to Delhi by using 25% bio-aviation fuel. So we need to have more concentration on the tribal, agriculture and rural economy. We are now importing 80% edible oil of India from abroad. We are importing. We need to develop the oil seed, just like sunflower, soya bean, rice bran oil. We need to develop and improve the capability, capacity, potential for that. Where we need the problem is our concentration is how we can increase our export and how we can reduce our imports. So this is the time for the country that we are now within a month. We are going to publish from my ministry two books. One is what are the field where we are going to be for a big export, how we can increase it. And other is how we can reduce our imports. By which the innovation, technology and research making joint ventures with abroad, with the new technology, we need to reduce our import. And actually our challenge is how we can reduce the logistic cost, power cost, labor cost and production cost without compromise with the quality, and we can capture the world market. Exactly, the situation is very favorable and we are trying our level best to strengthen our agriculture. We want to strengthen our rural agriculture economy. We need to have developed public-private investment in different fields. Now in India, the medical, paramedical, everywhere there is a potential. We can make private-public investment with 500 medical colleges, 100 M's, and dental colleges. We can train this manpower. The skilled manpower is the strength for India. So we are already, it is to be proven in software. So the way in which we need to have developed the skill development and training institute in India, we are now opening technology centers. Our startup people are making new technology, new innovation, new research, the excellent contribution they have. And I feel that the Ayurveda, yoga, where we can develop and giving training to the young talented people, and they can be teacher to the whole world for Ayurveda and for Panchakarma and for Yoga Vidya. So these are the new fields. These are the new spheres where a lot of potential, economic potential is there. All whole world have great sympathy and belief for India. And now this is the time when the Chinese economy is now facing it for the future. I am predicting that they will face the problem because of all this scenario. So this is the time that we need to increase the confidence of the people of all these countries, and we can make India economically strong, and we can make India as a strong economy, increase our GDP up to 8%, create more employment potential, reduce the import and increase the export. And that is exactly the dream. Our Prime Minister has taken a lot of decisions we have taken, and the banking sector, the Reserve Bank, the Finance Ministry, every department is preparing the policy. It is not appropriate for me to declare that. Even my ministry has also prepared the plan. We are all working on it, and due course of time we are ready after Corona war, which 100% we are going to win this war. And after that we need to fight against this economic war to make India a super economic power and fulfill the dream of our Prime Minister to making India a 5 trillion economy. At the same time, we can make the infrastructure of 100 lakh crores. And I am confident whatever the target from last 6 years, my ministry has decided. Making Ganga, clean Ganga mission, we successfully do it. Making Ganga waterways, we will do it. And there are no problem, it's doing now, it's a good thing. At the same time, we can change the road sector. So shipping, ports, everything. So I am fully confident that under leadership of our Prime Minister, we will change the situation, we will take the advantage of all this economic situation in the whole world. We will make India economically strong, and we will treat as a blessing in disguise, this coronavirus, and we will win. We will make India super economic power, and a student like you, who are of Indian origin, who are very intelligent, knowledge is the power, and I am confident that people like you, your new innovation, new research, new technology, your new experiences in the world, your practical knowledge which you are getting, on the basis of that, we will make the modern India. And we will make India as a super economic power. And without your help, with your help, definitely we will going to achieve that goal. I'm really happy to interact with all of you. Lot of things are there for my speech, but I will make it short because I need to take your suggestions, your questions, and you are welcome. It is really a pleasure for me giving that opportunity to interact with you. Once again, I am wishing you best luck. Be cautious about Corona because really it is a very problem, so take the preventive measures. I give you best luck to all of you. And we as Indians, as a stakeholder, nationalism is our aspiration. On the basis of that, we will make India super economic power. That is a dream of 125 crore Indians. We are 100%. We are going to fulfill. For that reason, we need your participation, cooperation. And we need to have cooperation, coordination and communication between the you people and Indian government and Indian people and Indian industry. With the cooperation of all stakeholders, I am confident that we will achieve our goal. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Nitinji, for a wonderful lecture. Your optimism for the country and optimism for the economy always drives us and keeps us energetic. Being an Indian student abroad and being one of the Karyakartas, I always felt very inspired by you. We will be taking now questions and I will be announcing the names. I just have one small suggestion. When I listen to you, we all students get together and discuss. You are doing so much work that many PhDs can be done. That how you do it, because so many people just keep reading books, and when it comes to execution, a lot of people fail. So lot of Western universities should come and understand how the entire functioning is happening, because that is a great model which West also can learn from us. So moving ahead, I would like to invite Pranav Gupta from UC Berkeley to ask a question. Pranav.
A question. सर, मेरा सवाल आपसे ये था कि फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट अट्रैक्ट करने में एक बड़ी समस्या जो इंडिया को रही है वो ये रही है कि लैंड एक्विजिशन, लेबर लॉज, इन्वायरमेंट लॉज हमारे यहाँ बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट हैं। तो क्या आपको लगता है कि अभी जब हम चाइना से निकलने वाली इन्वेस्टमेंट और कंपनीज को अपनी तरफ अट्रैक्ट करने के लिए कम्पीट कर रहे हैं, तो ये एक बड़ा मोमेंट है जब हम लोग इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स की तरफ एक बड़ा मूव ले सकते हैं? और दूसरी समस्या जो रही है वो रही है सेंटर स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेशन की। काफी सारे स्टेट्स में अलग अलग लॉज होते हैं, तो क्या इन दोनों चीजों पर आपको लगता है कि ये एक बड़ा मूवमेंट बन सकता है?
मैंने जो सोचा है वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ हमारे जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी और सेक्रेटरी मिलकर कोऑर्डिनेशन करेंगे और 3 महीने के अंदर मैक्सिमम हम ऑल परमिशन देंगे और वो काम शुरू करेंगे। 3 महीने के ऊपर डिले में हुआ, मैं खुद इसको मॉनिटरिंग करूंगा ताकि यहाँ इन्वेस्टमेंट हो सके और तुरंत हो सके। और हमारी कोशिश ये होगी कि ये इंडस्ट्री का भी डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन होना चाहिए। जो आता वो पूना में जाता, जो आता वो मुंबई में जाता, बेंगलोर में जाता, गुड़गांव में घुसता है, नहीं तो नोएडा में जाता, अब चेन्नई में जाता, बेंगलोर में जाता। ये नहीं करना हम लोगों को। अब ये हमारा जो इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर्स है उसके ऊपर भी हम लोग कुछ इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया डेवलप कर रहे हैं। 22 नेशनल हाईवे पे ग्रीन एरिया डेवलप कर रहे हैं। लैंड हम एक्वायर करेंगे, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करके देंगे और 3 महीने में उनका काम कर सकेंगे। इतना फास्ट मूवमेंट करेंगे और इसके लिए स्टेट और सेंट्रल लेवल पर कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी रखेंगे और जो भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं होता वो भी हम मॉनिटरिंग करेंगे। मैं खुद ध्यान दूंगा और 3 महीने के अंदर सब क्लियरेंसेस देंगे। ये हमने तय किया और उसके ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं और मेरा विश्वास है इसमें कोई डिले नहीं होगा।
अगला सवाल है कृषाणु डे, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैम्ब्रिज। Krishanu.
Honorable Minister, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity today to talk to you on this very important topic. Mr. Minister, we have seen in the past recent few weeks that many countries, including the United States, France, Germany, and the UK, have decided to launch an investigation into the origin of the Wuhan coronavirus and the subsequent suppression by the Chinese Communist Party regime in China. Now, being a senior minister in the Modi cabinet and also given the fact that India is in a very strategically important position in this region, can you assure us that India will also launch an investigation into this and try and find out if there was any conspiracy being hatched in our neighbor? And if it was, and if they deliberately suppressed it, can India take any action against China, at least economically? Thank you.
Actually, this is a sensitive subject and related with the foreign ministry and the prime minister. It will not be appropriate to make any comments on it. But I feel that the world, particularly the USA and other countries, are very annoyed now. So I don't know what will happen for future. The Indian government and appropriate authority, they are authorized to take the decision. My actually responsibility and my privilege and my area, it will not be appropriate to make any interference in it. But only one thing which I want to convince you, that one thing is very important, that all the world now they have hatred for China. Is it possible for us to convert it into the opportunity for India? Already the Japanese Prime Minister has declared the package for the Japanese industry and the investors who are in China, who are coming out of China. The government is giving special package. I feel that we should think on that and we will concentrate on it. And we will open the Indian scenario for that. We will give the clearances and everything to them and attract the foreign investment. We will increase our growth rate, employment potential and wealth. Definitely the GDP in India. That is important. I am only limited to that subject. Otherwise, on this international subject and all this stuff, I don't want to make any comments.
अगला सवाल है महालक्ष्मी, नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिंगापुर।
नमस्कार गडकरी जी, आज तुम्ही वेळ दिल्याबद्दल तुमचे खूप आभारी आहोत। मेरा नाम महालक्ष्मी है और मैं नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिंगापुर में पीएचडी स्टूडेंट हूँ और चाइना इंडिया रिलेशंस पे ही मेरा पीएचडी फोकस है। तो थैंक यू आज इस पे डिस्कशन करने के लिए। मेरा आपसे ये प्रश्न है कि कोरोना महामारी से उभरे संकट को भारतीय एमएसएमईज जो है अवसर में कैसे बदल सकते हैं और उन्हें सहयोग देने के लिए भारत सरकार क्या कर सकती है? धन्यवाद।
ये तो हमने डिपार्टमेंट ने इसका प्लान तैयार किया है, प्रधानमंत्री जी भी इसके बारे में एक विजन हम सबको दिया है, पर अभी फिलहाल हमारी प्रीलिमिनरी लड़ाई जो है वो कोरोना वायरस के अगेंस्ट है, और इसलिए कोरोना वायरस की लड़ाई जीतने के बाद फिर इकोनॉमिक वॉर शुरू होगी, और इस इकोनॉमिक वॉर में हम लोग जो कुछ करने वाले हैं उसकी आज चर्चा करना उचित नहीं होगा, पर कोरोना वॉर की फाइट करते हुए जो जो इकोनॉमिक डिसीजंस ले सकते हैं, हमारी बैंक्स ले सकती है, रिजर्व बैंक ले सकती है, फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री ले सकती है, और भारत सरकार ले सकता है, डिपार्टमेंट ले सकते हैं, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ले सकते हैं, वो हम सब ले रहे हैं। हम एमएसएमई, इंडस्ट्री, इन्वेस्टर सबके पीछे खड़े हैं। एक बात जरूर है कि इंडियन इकोनॉमी और जापान की इकोनॉमी, अमेरिकन इकोनॉमी और इंडियन इकोनॉमी में बहुत अंतर है। एक ने मुझे पूछा कि जापान ने 12% ऑफ जीडीपी इसके वॉर के, कोरोना वॉर के अगेंस्ट खर्चा करने का तय किया। हमारी मुश्किल है, हमारी मर्यादा भी है, और इसलिए मैं सभी उद्योगों को यही कहता हूँ कि आप समझिए कि रिजर्व बैंक भी आप है, बैंक भी आप है, भारत सरकार भी आप है, राज्य सरकार भी आप है, और इंडस्ट्री भी आप है। वी आर फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम, हर सेक्टर प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहा है, तो हम एक दूसरे की मर्यादा को, एक दूसरे की अड़चन और समस्या को समझकर हमको एक इक्विलिब्रियम मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हमको सबको सर्वाइव करना है। इतना बड़ा पैकेज देकर हम लोग, हमारी कल बैंकिंग कोलैप्स हो जाएगी तो उचित नहीं होगा। उस पूरी सिस्टम को प्रोटेक्ट करके और स्टेक होल्डर को पूरा प्रोटेक्शन देकर हमको सबको मिलकर थिंक टुगेदर, वर्क टुगेदर एंड कम टुगेदर, और एक दूसरे के साथ कोऑपरेशन, कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड कम्युनिकेशन के साथ हाथ में हाथ मिलाकर हमको आगे जाना पड़ेगा। हमें सबको प्रोटेक्ट करना पड़ेगा। उसी के आधार पर हमने नीति बनाई है, और भारत सरकार ने बहुत बड़े बड़े निर्णय किए हैं, और भारत सरकार निश्चित रूप से इसके साथ है।
अगला सवाल है ओमकार जोशी, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मैरीलैंड। गो अहेड।
Thank you, Nitin ji, for giving us the opportunity to interact with you. I am Omkar Joshi from University of Maryland, College Park, and I'm doing PhD in sociology. My question is, since you mentioned about MSME sector being important and almost like 29 to 30% of GDP comes from that sector, most of the workers who are in that sector work in informal sector and tiny and micro enterprises.
Once of all, ये हमारे पास we are facing the problem related to the labors. So what the guiding principle which our government is giving, that first of all, using of mask, make it mandatory. Second thing, sanitizer, always use it. And the third thing is at least maintain the distance more than 1 meter between. At the same time, industry should take the responsibility for three important things. One is transport, public transport. One bus can take only 25 people by maintaining distance. The second thing, food and shelter. The industry has to find out the way out and option that how it can, this problem can be resolved. On the basis of that, we want to protect the labor, we want to protect the industry. Now I am giving an example. Lot of laborers now leaving from one city to going back to their own village. This is not a good situation. I just received a call from a minister from Chandrapur, Gadchiroli, Guardian Minister Odettiwar, that 10,000 labor from Chandrapur districts, they are going to Telangana, their family are here. Now he is suggesting me that we should take them back from Telangana to Chandrapur. There is no corona problem, is very serious. So now we have to find out the way out and resolve the issues. On the basis of that, we have to protect the health and food and shelter of all poor laborers. At the same time, we have to make their life regularized. But at the same time, we need lockdown. At the same time, we need to maintain preventive guidelines and principles given by the government. And on the basis of that, we have to go ahead. We should not be responsible for spreading of corona. So that is the reason the situation is complicated, and the reason government and state government is now moving fast towards this target.
Akshay Jaju, Purdue.
Namaste Nitin ji. This is Akshay Jaju, a computer science PhD candidate from Purdue University. थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर वंडरफुल टॉक एंड आपको अक्षय तृतीया की शुभकामनाएं भी। तो जैसा हम लोग एक बार ये कई जगहों पे देख रहे हैं, न्यूज में, मीडिया में भी हर जगह आ रहा है कि नदियां अब साफ दिखने लगी, एयर पोल्यूशन बहुत कम एक्सपीरियंस हो रहा है लोगों को काफी इस दौरान, जब से ये सारी चीजें बंद हुई हैं काफी गतिविधियां। तो दूसरी चीज, अभी हम लोग ये एक प्रस्ताव पे काम कर रहे थे, तो हम लोग भी कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट्स देख रहे थे जिससे एक ऐसे आंकड़े मिलते हैं कि लगभग अगर भारत के टॉप 6 शहर ले लें, 6 प्रमुख शहर लें, तो हमें लगभग मिलता है कि 1.5 करोड़ घंटे लोग सिर्फ इधर उधर ट्रैवल में लगाते थे। तो 1.5 करोड़ घंटे लोगों के बच रहे हैं। ये ज्यादा डेटा फ्रॉम आईटी इंडस्ट्री है। और इसी तरह से बहुत सा फ्यूल बच रहा है। देन इन द सिमिलर वे व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट कि लोगों के अगर परिवार में बात करते हैं तो लोगों को अपने आप के लिए, परिवार के लिए भी ज्यादा समय मिल रहा है। सो टू ऑल दीज बेनिफिट्स, क्या गवर्नमेंट या आप लोग ऐसा कुछ सोच रहे हैं कि आगे इनको लोगों तक कैसे पहुंचाएंगे और कैसे इसको फॉरवर्ड करेंगे, लोगों तक रखेंगे या इस सिचुएशन का फायदा उठाएंगे समझाने के लिए?
आपको और एक बात की जानकारी शायद नहीं मिली। एज ए ट्रांसपोर्ट मिनिस्टर, हिंदुस्तान में हर साल 5 लाख एक्सीडेंट होते हैं और 1.5 लाख मौतें हो जाती है। कोरोना के पहले हमने कम से कम 20% इसमें कम किया था और हमको ये 0 पर पहुंचना है। तो अभी ये जो एक्सीडेंट की संख्या थी ये एकदम कम हो गई इस 1 महीने में। तो ये भी जितने कोरोना में लोगों की मौत हुई है उससे 10 गुना ज्यादा या उससे भी ज्यादा लोगों की जान एक्सीडेंट न होने के कारण बची है। और मैं आपको एक बात बताता हूँ, मैं बहुत दिनों से 13 साल से पीछे पड़ा हूँ इथेनॉल के लिए, डाइवर्सिफिकेशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर टुवर्ड्स एनर्जी एंड पावर सेक्टर। ये जो डीजल और पेट्रोल के कारण जो पोल्यूशन होता है, तो मैं एज ए ट्रांसपोर्ट मिनिस्टर लगा होता और बहुत पुटिंग पे लगा हुआ। हमने यूरो 6 के नॉर्म्स लाए अभी, एमिशन के नॉर्म्स, इसको एक 5 के बजाय एकदम ऊपर चले गए 6 पर। और दूसरी बात, मैं चाहता हूं कि हमारे हवाई जहाज से लेकर कार, ट्रक, टेम्पो, स्कूटर तक इलेक्ट्रिक, इथेनॉल, मिथेनॉल, बायोडीजल, बायोसीजी और इसका सबका उपयोग हो। और हम लोग ये इंपोर्ट 7 लाख करोड़ का कर रहे, इससे बचे, इकोनॉमी को भी फायदा होगा और इंपोर्ट सब्स्टिट्यूट कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव और पोल्यूशन। दूसरी बात, हमारी नदियों को हम पोल्यूटेड कर, हम बड़े प्रमाण पर वेस्ट टू वेल्थ वाली थ्योरी लेके जाते। मैं नागपुर शहर में हूँ, 7 साल के पहले मैंने एक इनिशिएटिव लेके काम शुरू किया कि टॉयलेट का पानी बेचना शुरू किया। हम कोराडी और खापरखेड़ा प्रोजेक्ट के लिए नागपुर शहर का टॉयलेट का पानी देते हैं। अब हम 325 करोड़ टॉयलेट का पानी बेचकर रेवेन्यू कमा रहे हैं। अब उस पानी से मीथेन निकालकर, मीथेन से CO2 अलग करके बायो CNG बनाकर 1000 बसें चलाने की बात करें। उसमें 80 बसें हमारी चालू हुई है। ये प्रोजेक्ट अभी चालू नहीं होगा, जल्दी चालू होगा। तो न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी, न्यू रिसर्च एंड न्यू इनोवेशन से हम वेस्ट टू वेल्थ में भी जा रहे हैं। देखिए, इथिक्स, इकोनॉमी, इकोलॉजी एंड एनवायरमेंट, ये 3 ई बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और ये 3 ई को काम करते समय हमको इकोलॉजी एंड एनवायरमेंट के साथ, इकोनॉमी के साथ और साथ से साथ उसकी इथिक्स, जो हमारी मॉरल वैल्यूज है, मूल्याधिष्ठित जीवन पद्धति, मूल्याधिष्ठित परिवार पद्धति, जो भारतीयों की स्ट्रेंथ है, इसके आधार पर ज्ञान, विज्ञान, तत्व विज्ञान का, इनोवेशन का उपयोग करके, कन्वर्शन ऑफ नॉलेज इनटू वेल्थ, इसका उपयोग करके हमको पोल्यूशन से, एयर और वाटर पोल्यूशन से बचना है। लॉन्ग टर्म पर हम इस पे काम कर रहे हैं। और अचानक ये जो हुआ, ऐसा मैं जैसे बोलता हूँ ना कि कोरोना इज ए ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज और इकोनॉमी, कि चाइना के खिलाफ लोग हो गए, हमारे लिए एडवांटेज आया। तो वैसे मैं अब ये भी कहूंगा कि निश्चित रूप से एनवायरमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी हमको ये ब्लेसिंग है। और अब हमको इकोनॉमी को भी ठीक करना है, इंडस्ट्री को भी शुरू करना है, नदियों के पोल्यूशन को भी कम करना है, एयर पोल्यूशन को भी कम करना है, और सस्टेनेबिलिटी और क्वालिटी लाइफ हमको निर्माण करना है। मुझे लगता है इस फ्रंट पर हमको काम करना होगा। और वही विजन लेकर प्रधानमंत्री जी 5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी की बात और न्यू इंडिया की बात कर रहे हैं। हमारे भी, मैं जब बीजेपी का अध्यक्ष था तो मैंने बीजेपी का एक विजन डॉक्यूमेंट तैयार किया, जो राजीव कुमार जी नीति आयोग के उपाध्यक्ष मेरे साथ थे, उसका पब्लिश भी हुआ है कि हमको ये सब टारगेट पूरा करने के लिए हमको क्या क्या करना होगा। और मोदी जी ने भी इसके बारे में काफी अच्छा, अभी हमारे सब मंत्रियों के सामने सभी मिनिस्ट्री का प्रेजेंटेशन हुआ है। और इंडिया 5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बने, एयर पोल्यूशन, वाटर पोल्यूशन से मुक्ति मिले, मृत्यु होने वाले लोगों की संख्या, एक्सीडेंट्स और पोल्यूशन दोनों के कारण हमारी हेल्थ सर्विसेज में इंप्रूव करके लोगों की जान बचे, सस्टेनेबल और पोल्यूशन फ्री एयर वाटर पोल्यूशन से मुक्ति, ऐसा है क्लीन इंडिया हो। अभी ये पूरी विजन है, इसमें काफी अच्छा प्लानिंग हुआ है और अभी कोरोना वायरस की लड़ाई जीतने के बाद इसी के आधार पर एक नई विजन के साथ हमारी सरकार मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में काम करेगी।
धन्यवाद नितिन जी। नितिन जी, जो ये सारी एक्टिविटीज हैं, इस पे हमारे IIM जो हमारे टॉप मैनेजमेंट स्कूल हैं, उस पे कोई कोर्स पढ़ाया जाता है या आपके तरफ से कोई इनिशिएटिव है जहाँ ऐसा कोई कोर्स है जो लोग ऑनलाइन पढ़ सके और देख सके ये सब काम जो इतनी डिटेल में हो रहा है, उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन हम तक पहुंचने का बेस्ट मीडियम क्या क्या आपको लगता है कि है?
अभी तक तो गवर्नमेंट में अपनी एक मर्यादा होती है और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आप लोग थोड़ा नीति आयोग के साथ और एक आधी अच्छी इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ, MBA इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ ये करके उनको जिम्मेदारी दो कि वो ये काम करे और वो उनके वेबसाइट से, उनकी ये आपकी वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के द्वारा इंडिया में नई नई बातों को आप तक पहुंचाए, वो ज्यादा होगा। सरकारी स्तर पर ये कोऑर्डिनेट करना और होना बहुत मुश्किल है, इसके लिए थर्ड पार्टी चाहिए, पर सरकार की ओर से उनको हम कोऑपरेट करेंगे, ये मैं आपको वचन।
अगला सवाल नितिन जी है डॉक्टर दिशा शर्मा, प्रिंसटन यूनिवर्सिटी से।
हेलो।
हाँ जी।
हाँ जी, नमस्कार नितिन जी। I am a postdoctoral researcher in environmental atmospheric sciences at the Woodrow Wilson School, Princeton University. So it was very uplifting to hear you talk about how well prepared the country is to face this crisis and that you see an opportunity coming out of the crisis. And so many congratulations on that. So we had gained momentum in addressing key pollution issues and environmental problems. But it will all be very different in a post-COVID world. So what do you think could be the major challenges to maintain the pace of progress that we had made in addressing key pollution issues in a post-COVID world, while adhering to the goals of sustainable development and transitioning to clean energy?
Actually, water pollution and air pollution is a big task. So, but now I am giving you an example. In Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, and some part of the rice belt is there, and the parali, that is the rice crop, they are burning, and because of parali, we are facing the problem in Delhi everywhere, air pollution. Now we have a technology that 5 ton of parali rice straw we can convert into 1 ton of bio-CNG. The technology is proven. I am also doing the project in my area, and my dream is the 5 districts of my area: Bhandara, Gondia, Chandrapur, Gadchiroli, Nagpur, and Hardar. My mission is within 5 years, these districts will be free from diesel, and truck transport everywhere we can make bio-CNG. In Nagpur now 80 buses are running on CNG. Now LNG's cost is very cheap, 50% of the diesel. Also, there is an idea that we will import LNG and compress it and then convert it to CNG, and we can run our buses. And planning is running truck and buses long term, 800 kilometer, 1000 kilometer buses and trucks on LNG. So in place of diesel, LNG and CNG. At the same time, we are already mixing ethanol in diesel and petrol. Now idea is to mixing ethanol in diesel also. So we have 100% buses. The Scania is the company from Sweden having the 100% on bioethanol. Then we are now have electric bike from Bajaj and from TVS also. Then electric bus. And the electric car is now becoming very popular in India. So electric cycle, bicycle is also there. And public transport on electricity is ultimate goal. So we are also planning for broad gauge metro. Just from I am doing first project in India, in my area. We have Nagpur, we have got metro. That is the standard gauge metro. But we are connecting from Gondia to Akola, to Bandera, and Bandera to Narkhed, Narkhed to Vadsa. And here is from Chandrapur to Narkhed and Chandrapur to Gondia via Nagpur. And making this broad gauge line which is available, Delhi, Madras and Mumbai, Kolkata, that line will be used for broad gauge metro. The same 4 Dabba metro with air conditioning and everything, the speed of the passenger is 40 km per hour, express speed is 60 km per hour and the broad gauge metro speed is 120 km per hour. And that is going to reduce the pollution. The mass rapid transport on electricity is the option. Then at the same time, for industry, there is a pollution, water pollution. Now we already have successfully completed the project Clean Ganga Mission. Or this year, first time when I was minister, it's a great pleasure and pride for me that now in this Kumbh, people enjoy the water. And first time it is free from all these impurities. So now we want to clean our lakes, our rivers, and at the same time we need to implement the policy as far as our industry is concerned. There will be no air pollution and water pollution. But for that purpose, country like India, we need conversion of waste into wealth. So plastic waste we can convert, aluminum metals we can convert, and from the organic waste we can convert organic fertilizer. Even we can make methane from that. And by CO2 also we can make, there is a technology available in Russia that from CO2 we can make urea. And CO2 we can make this syngas. So now the new technology, the people like you are working on it. It is time for all of you to how we can convert waste into wealth. The two most important vision for the country is conversion of knowledge into wealth and conversion of waste into wealth. And that is the thing where we are working on it. But people like you who are especially having research, you can give more good vision, good economically viable new innovations for India. You are welcome. Give it to your corporations and municipal corporations and the country. That's how we can reduce the pollution. And from pollution, water pollution and air pollution, how we can add a value in it to make it conversion of waste into wealth. That can be a future for the country where we need the cooperation from people like you. So please cooperate for India. We are on the same line. We are working.
नितिन जी, मेरे पास बहुत सारे सवाल आए हैं, तो हमारे पास समय कम है, तो मे भी हम एक दो और सवाल लेंगे और उसके बाद आपका अगर कोई और सजेशन और कमेंट हो तो प्लीज दीजिए। एक सवाल है गौतम चट्टोपाध्याय, नासा जेट प्रोपोर्शनल लेबोरेटरी में वे सीनियर साइंटिस्ट हैं, सो ही वांट्स टू आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन।
Okay, my name is Gautam Chattopadhyay. I am a senior scientist at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and also, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm also a visiting faculty at Caltech. I want to thank Tushar for organizing this and Nitin ji for spending time with us. My question is this, that, this COVID-19 has created unprecedented economic stress all over the world, as well as in India. And finally, when we are on the other side of the curve, of course, government will focus on economic issues. However, we have seen that in the last couple of years, investment in the education sector actually has gone down from 3.1% of GDP to 2.7% of GDP. But as you mentioned, that there is a lot of opportunity as well to invest in new technologies and innovations and education in the, like healthcare sector and other technologies, as well as climate change areas. So what are the steps government is planning to take to make sure that you protect investment in the education sector? Because I believe that new innovations will come from there. And so it is very important that we do that. So we have to hear your thoughts and what kind of steps government of India is planning to take to protect investments in education, research, and technologies. Thank you.
Your suggestion is very important. But the one ground reality is that we are facing financial constraint as far as increase the expenditure on education. But we have already opened private universities, public-private investment. Our private medical college doing excellent jobs. Management college, MBA colleges, private university, team universities are doing good jobs. My suggestion is, if there is anything where the public-private investment, they can make universities, institutions, and research laboratories. They can register their patents. What my feeling is, don't misunderstood me. These are the economically viable projects. So government will support them. Government will give them permission. Government will try their level best to give some lands and working for them if it is possible from the state government also. But At this time, this is the time for the private entrepreneurs and educationalists who can start their own university by public-private investment, medical colleges, institution, management institution, research laboratory, register their patents, by which they are getting their money back. So this is the time that we are allowing all public-private investment education, and we are all welcome those who are ready to come here. India has got a good number of private universities. They are doing excellent jobs. Their standard is very good. Their laboratories are good. They are making the research. The management institutions are very good. They are very reputed. Some of the institutions already they have a joint venture with the world-class universities. And my suggestion is public-private investment is a correct path by which we can make more universities, more research institutes, more laboratories, and government is ready to support them. As far as the government institution is concerned, we are trying, but we have a lot of limitations and constraints. Even as far as the quality in government, it is also a great task. So sometimes we are facing a lot of problems. We have reservations, promotion policies, a lot of things are there in the way in which social systems. And here in this situation, it is very difficult to make the equal standard compared with the international institution. So my suggestion is the people like you come to India and make the university, make the colleges, make the laboratories, register the patents. Now this is the time that India is open and we are ready to support you. But as far as government is concerned, we have a lot of limitations. Still we are trying to support it maximum, whatever the possible from our side, we will try to support them. But even we cannot make an expenditure for primary education. We don't have schools. मैं मजाक में कभी कभी कहता हूँ कि कॉलेज की बिल्डिंग, स्कूल की बिल्डिंग है तो शिक्षक नहीं है, शिक्षक है तो बिल्डिंग नहीं है, दोनों है तो विद्यार्थी नहीं है, तीनों है तो पढ़ाई नहीं. So we are facing this problem. So better with people like you, and we need to have more concentration on primary education in the village area where we want to make more expenditure. So people like you for higher education, for research, for management studies, making meta patents and all the things. The private public sector is open. And even you can make a joint venture with the industry, public sector undertaking or industry. Now government is giving permission to open medical college and apps or private industry. So we are open. So with the cooperation of industry in that particular field, you can start the management institute, research institute, register the patents, and it can be useful for that industry. At the same time, it can be a source for income and it is economically viable. So people like you, who has got the entrepreneurship knowledge, they are welcome in India to open new university, new institution, and new research lab.
Thank you, Nitinji, for very honest and answer full of your vision. Do you want me to take another question, or we have? I think we are almost on time. Or do you have any message for us which you would like to?
Actually. जो मैंने कहना था कह दिया. आप अगर एक आधा क्वेश्चन करो तो पूछो, पर मैं आपको ये एक आखिर में एक ही रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि जो नॉलेज आपने मिला है, जो एक्सपीरियंस आपको मिला है, जो सक्सेसफुल पेटेंट आपको मिला है जो इंडिया में नहीं है, क्या उसको आप इंडिया में लाकर इंडिया को स्ट्रांग बनाने के लिए आप में से हर स्टूडेंट कोई प्रयास कर सकता है क्या? कोई इनिशिएटिव ले सकता है क्या? कोई जॉइंट वेंचर कर सकता है क्या? कि दो हमारे देश को बड़ा बनाने के लिए, पावरफुल बनाने के लिए. अगर आप में से एक एक स्टूडेंट ने एक एक प्रोजेक्ट ऐसा किया जो भारत में नहीं है पर वर्ल्ड में है, ऐसी चीज अगर आपने यहाँ लाई, तो मुझे लगता है कि आप सब हिंदुस्तान को आप सबके सहयोग से आगे ले जाना संभव होगा. मेरी बहुत बहुत आप सबको बहुत धन्यवाद है. आपको शुभकामना और शुभेच्छाएं, और आप सबके सहयोग से हम लोग इंडिया बनाएंगे. आपको एक आधा क्वेश्चन पूछना है तो पूछ लीजिए.
एक सवाल श्री लेखा है कोलंबिया यूनिवर्सिटी से, उनका एक सवाल है. श्री लेखा.
Thank you. Namaste, Nitish. Thank you for the beautiful chance. Inspiring to get back to India and India. So during the pandemic, a lot of businesses have done pretty well, and some businesses are really fortunate. Has the central government considered using taxation, for example, a small COVID tax, to transfer some of these gains from big businesses to smaller businesses and MSMEs, and to help with job creation?
Actually, I'm not listening you properly. My one suggestion to all of you, you prepare your suggestion and kindly send your email to me. Raj Gopal Sharma is my private secretary in Delhi for MSME department. And today also, Mr. Sharma is new secretary from PMO. Also now joining as a secretary. So give me all your suggestion. I will work on it. We will make intervention and definitely we will work on it. I'm very sorry that I'm not listening you properly. So it is difficult for me to give the answer of your question. But you send it me in written. Probably if it is possible, I will try. If you send me the email, if it is the number, if I can do it, I can try to give you the answer of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitinji. We will coordinate at our end and have a suggestion and a question list, and we'll try to follow up with your office. Thank you so much for giving us time, Nitinji. और हम सबका एक सजेशन है नितिन जी, जब कभी आप यूएस आए या यूरोप जाएं या कभी भी आपको समय मिले, हमारे कैंपसेस पर आप कभी हमारे लिए आधा घंटा भी निकाल पाएं और हमारे कैंपसेस में आके स्टूडेंट से इंटरेक्ट करें, तो वी विल बी वेरी वेरी हैप्पी एंड उससे हमारे को भी बहुत मोटिवेशन मिलता है और भारत में वापस कंट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए हम भी इंस्पायर होते हैं. तो प्लीज रिक्वेस्ट.
100% I will come. Thank you. भारत माता की जय.
भारत माता की जय. Thank you, Nitin ji. So thank you everyone for joining live, and we will continue these discussions.